Modify an action in Photoshop. If we've created actions, we may need to modify an action. And by modifying an action, I mean maybe adding other steps that we don't have there, or potentially changing the order of some of these steps, or just altering one of the options. So how do we revise an action? What we need to do is click on the step that will come before the new steps. So this is the step that's just above where you want the new steps to appear. So in my case, it might be this one. And so that means that this step is above where I want the new steps to go. Or it might be right after making a snapshot. I'll do it right after making a snapshot so you can see it'll be sandwiched between make a snapshot and applying the layer styles of a drop shadow. So once I have this step selected, I need to then click the Begin Recording button in the Actions panel. So that's just my record button. So it's as though I'm making a new action. However, I've identified where specifically I want this to go. So I'll click, and now I am recording. You can see my red circle is active. It's selected. So that means, yep, I'm recording. And I just need to now do what I want to have happen. And so that might be taking this text layer and making the opacity go down on it. We'll go to maybe around 50. So there's my new opacity change. And I may want to add another layer style. So if this is what I initially want to do, I can click the stop recording, stop playing, stop recording, just the stop hit button here. And you can see that these new steps were inserted. Now, if I wanted to get rid of this one, because I may already have my layer selected and I don't necessarily want to look for the layer Hank, I can click delete it, yep, and so it's gone. So you can see I can do all kinds of modifications here. And again, I want to maybe double check this. So let's go back to history and check on my initial snapshot that I made. So this is my kind of 0.1 start over type. And if I go ahead and play this, there it is. So now my opacity has been changed and I have a drop shadow. So you can easily revise an action. How about inserting a stop? So let's go back again and reset this. And again, looking at my type drop shadow action that I created, we can include a stop. And a stop is a command that interrupts playback so that some other operation can be performed. The user can have additional input, and it's for those things that can't be recorded in an action, or something that might change each time this specific action is played. Let's go ahead and insert a stop. Again, I'm going to click the step just above where you want this pause to take place. So we will select this one. This one remembers where I changed my opacity. So I'm going to go ahead and have that be active. So it's just above where I want the pause to take place. I'm going to click my Actions Panel Options button, which is up here, and we're going to choose to insert a stop. You can see there's a lot of different things that we can insert. Here's my stop, and this way I can put a text message that will appear when the action is stopped. So I could just say hello for right now, just to show you what will happen. I want to make sure I choose the Allow Continue. So this Allow Continue checkbox will allow me then to continue. It will include a continue button in the message that appears when this action is stopped. Okay, so here's my stop. And you can see that this action here will contain this little icon, a toggle dialog on and off icon here. That will be contained to the left of an action that includes some sort of modal control. Let's go back and play this one again. Here it is. This is my message that I typed, and here's my checkbox that I included that said Allowed Continue. So if I choose Continue, There it goes. So I could include a message such as make a certain layer active, make a certain selection, enter some sort of specific number value in a specific dialog box. So you get the idea. You can really point your user into a specific set of information with that message box. One other note, as I'm going through and editing and making modifications, I can include a default action within another action. So you can do some embedding here. So types of modifications, just to review. I can rearrange steps. So if I wanted the stop to be up here, I can simply click and drag. I can add new steps. When I want to add a new step, remember I need to click the step that is just above where I want the new step to appear. I can actually re-record existing commands. So say I want to re-record this command. I have it selected. I'm going to go up here and I can choose to record again. When I record again, it's going to let me record that again, and I could change my opacity maybe to 50 to allow me to change that. I also can duplicate existing commands. I can delete any of these steps or any of the actions by having it selected and pressing delete. I can also have it active and press my delete key on my keyboard. And I can change the options in an action by going to my actions options or the playback options and change how this is playing back. So there's some ways that we can modify an action. So just know if you've recorded an action or you find an action that's almost what you want but not quite, you have the opportunity to make changes.